Dear friends of homeopathy, dear homeopathic colleagues, dear medical doctors, people who want to know about homeopathy, I would like to introduce you our dearest guest from Germany, homeopathic pediatrician with tremendous experience, Dr. Herbert Pfeiffer. Because of long cooperation with him, we know how precious is his knowledge. Dear Herbert, do you remember why did you come to Latvia for the first time?
Yes, because you invited me to come to Latvia. It was in 2007. We meet in Puebla, in Mexico, on the Homeopathic World Congress of the Liga Medicorum Homeopathica. And then I went here to Riga in 2011 to take part in your congress here.
Yes,
and it was
the first European Congress of Homeopathy.
Yes, it was a wonderful congress. And I liked this congress very much. And so then after, I began to give lessons in homeopathy. You gave me the chance to do it.
Thank you very much that you accepted our invitations.
Sometimes once a year, sometimes 2 times a year.
Herbert, I would like to ask you a simple question. Why you become homeopathic doctor? How you came to this specialty?
It was in 1970. I opened my own pediatric practice in Germany. And I was working after my clinical studies in Bern, the children's clinic in Bern. And I did my best work as I could, as I had learned. And then after 1 year about, I found out that I was not fully content because I had to treat children with the same diseases again and again. And that was not enough for me. I thought that I have to heal them, not to get the recurrent diseases. So I went out to study something else. And I was beginning with acupuncture on the ear, and then I found a way to the complex homeopathy. And also there I found that the remedies there was better for healing of a disease than only allopathic drugs. And by this I had a contact to homeopathy, and one day one colleague told me, when I was on a seminar of acupuncture, and I told him about my experience with complex homeopathy, he said, look, there's a wonderful homeopathic master, he's in Munich, Dr. Eichelberger, you have to go to him to learn classical homeopathy. And this I did. And then I worked with Dr. Eichelberger some years, and in the meantime had contact to Professor Deutsch in Vienna, and so I learned from those both masters the classical homeopathy, and then I had succeed. My first patient was not a child, it was an adult person, a man, who was out, and I sent him a rogatory, and he filled it out, and I was studying this and found out the homeopathic remedy. And in him it was lycopodium. And I sent him lycopodium, and after 2 months he told me that he was free from his pains. So he took lycopodium for a time, and then he forgot it, and he forgot the advices for good food, not to got again into a state of gout. And so he had to take lycopodium again with a good result. This was my first good experience where I found out that a homeopathic remedy can heal a disease if we do all the other things which are necessary with nutrition and so on. And then I studied more and more and began to treat my children in the praxis with classical homeopathy.
In classical homeopathy, you give only one remedy for each case, for each patient.
Yes, I
In
gave
certain
only
state,
one.
it's only one remedy.
Only one remedy, yeah. That means I give one remedy antimiasmatic for the chronic disease. Sometimes, if there occur acute disease, I have to give a collateral remedy for a short time and then continue with chronic remedy.
And do you know approximately how many children did you cure with homeopathy?
Oh, about 20,000 maybe.
And for how many years of your pediatric homeopathic practice?
No, it was since 1980.
So it's already almost 40 years.
By 40 years, yes.
Dear Herbert, what do you think homeopathy can give to humanity?
Look, healthy people are better than ill people. And we have to find out how we can heal people. And Hahnemann told us that our duty is, the unique duty, to heal people. And he gave us the possibility to this with homeopathy. Because with homeopathic remedies, we can get people back into a healthy state. That's unique. The other medicines we have, they can do wonderful things. Look, for example, heart surgery in newborn babies, it's incredible. But to give them health, we need homeopathy. Also in such cases, we can get a better result with the help of homeopathic remedies. And there's in every disease we can give homeopathic remedies. Sometimes not only alone, we have to have the help of all the other doctors we have, wonderful doctors. We have to work together. So the homeopathy gives us a widening of the spectrum of medicine. And the widening of the spectrum is to take other remedies than allopathic remedies. Otherwise, we make a good medicine, as we learned, but we have more to give with a homeopathic remedy to fulfill the healing of disease.
Thank you. And what do you think, how can be changed life on our planet if everybody would have possibility to be treated with homeopathy when necessary?
Homeopathy will change not only the somatic part of the disease of a human being, it will also change his psyche. It will change his intellectual capabilities, and it will change his spirituality. And to have a progress in mankind, we need spirituality. We know that during wars, for example, the spirituality is out of the normal mind because people has to look to survive. After the war, there come always a wave of spirituality. And then when people are more settled, they have enough to eat, and they have their job and enough money, then spirituality goes down. But we see in patients, which we treat with homeopathy, that they develop again their spirituality. And if we have more human beings with spirituality, the whole life will change. I think if you have in a city 5% of the population which have a good spirituality, the life in this community will change to the better.
5% is enough?
I think so. For it will not stay in 5%, but then it will begin that we feel the change.
And what do you think can happen in societies if people change with help of homeopathy?
People are the society. What they do is a society. And if they are more spiritual, this society must change. There's diminishing of corruption, for example. If somebody is spiritual will not take part in this. So there will be a change.
Thank you very much. While practicing homeopathy, homeopathic physicians not only help people, not only cure them, but homeopathy opens for them something new, like a new horizon of knowledge. What became more understandable for you with help of homeopathy while you practice, while you are thinking about the results of your practice?
The first is that you stay in a better health with help of homeopathy, and that takes away from you some disabilities you have. So you're more free to also to think on other things, to do other things, especially to find out that's not enough to survive, to eat, to drink, to sleep, to move. You must think over where you're coming from and where you go. And that means spirituality. And for me, it was clear that in my practice as a doctor, I began with the somatic diseases. Then I found out that there are psychical disturbances I have to take care of. And then people need to develop in the intellectual level to understand better the world by thinking, by learning. Learning is very important. And if you go this step, then you feel that it's not completed, that you know you must think over where all this is coming from. So you get deeper into spirituality, and the attention to the material lessens. And so you change your life, you change your thinking, you change your feeling.
I noticed that people who were treated by homeopathy with correct remedy, similium in a while, not at once, they became happier, I would say. They spread another energy around themselves. So they found what they were looking in life. They lost their false ideals.
They're going the way from the somatic health to the spiritual health. And when you are on this way, you get happier. You are not longer dependent to material. And if you are not dependent to this, you are free for everything else. That means it's not so important to have patients who are healed. It's important to see that the patients develop in their mind, feeling, and their thinking on what's important for them. And as soon as you found out that what's important, then you can get into a state of happiness. You can have joy. And everything you do will be a part of this happiness.
Thank you very much. What do you think? Where application of homeopathy is the most important? In pediatrics, or it does not matter? People of which age homeopathic doctors will cure?
It's important there where we can begin. There we have the possibility to give a homeopathic remedy. That may be in newborn children. That may also be in a 99-year-old person who is dying. In every state of the life of people, we can give the best way for life. In the beginning and at the end. And in between, it's sure, in every possibility we have to begin. We cannot say homeopathy is better in children than in adult people. It's always good. If we have the possibility to treat a lot of people with homeopathy, they will be earlier into a state of happiness. And then they can do the right things on earth. They can avoid struggle. They can don't need to have everything. They must not be against other people when they have more than themselves. They accept their own life because they're happy. And if you're happy, you need not to have more. You're content with it, what you have. If it's enough to not to starve, not to freeze, and to have connection with people who are in the same state. Happiness is not a thing you have only alone. You need to have contact with other people in the family and also in the society.
It's absolutely true. Dear Herbert, during long years of your homeopathic practice, did you understand why homeopathy works?
Yes, I try to understand because, as Hahnemann says, we have to strengthen the vital force in man. That means that they can act without disturbance by their own body, by their own psyche, by their own mind, by their own spirituality. And vital force means a power which makes, in the beginning, the cells to work better, until they reach a good functional state which not longer is disturbed. And the vital force, we can think over where it's coming from. And I think the most active force in life is love. For we see, when we treat somebody, his possibility to love and to be loved will get better and better. So love must be connected with vital force. And if we try to bring people back to a happy state, then they are able again to love and to be beloved. And that makes that we have to act in homeopathy with our patients and with anybody else with love. And we feel that we can go better in to them if we do something without our love to them. And we feel then that we also will be beloved. So, in the reality, I cannot say that I have enemies more in my life. And I think it's because of love from both sides. And for me, love and vital force is something which is together. Then at least we can ask where it's coming from. I believe that there is a universal spirit who creates everything. We can name it God. And his power is love. And we take part in this power. And the more we take part, the more healthier we are, and we can give more health to other people.
Thank you. If somebody would give you possibility to choose again your profession, what would you prefer? Would you change your profession?
No, I would never change the profession. I'm now absolutely happy with this, what I had to do and what I can do. And that's the pediatrics, and it is the homeopathy. And the connection of homeopathy and pediatrics is a wonderful thing. So the outcome of this was that we, together with 25 colleagues, wrote a book on homeopathy in children, and he asked people to have together everything we know about homeopathy in children. And I'm very content with this work, and I'm happy that it is done. I don't know if I could do it once more.
Thank you very much, Herbert, and I hope you will be guest of Latvia again and again. Of course, we would like you would stay here, because your advices are priceless. Your wisdom, I don't know where you get all the answers on all our questions, but I feel that it's truth in the first, like from the first source. Thank you very much.
Thank you too.